Hey y'all. So today I'm going to be doing a video. I'm going to do like everyday makeup that I do for myself just to get ready every day. And then I'm going to be reading some more child-free content. I love this content because it just solidifies why I'm never having biological kids. I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit low. I've had a little bit of a cough I'm getting over. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So first I'm just gonna put a little bit of concealer on. I already have my tinted sunscreen on. So, and then we'll get into this post. So here we go. And I really like these kind of posts because they're honest and they make you think twice about what it's like to have a child, especially a baby, especially a toddler, when those years can sometimes be the hardest. So, for me, just a little backstory on me. I was in childcare working wise for really ever since I was like 8 years old. I had babies on my lap at church. Like I was watching kids from a young age. And so, yeah, it just like, it makes you think of kids differently when you watch so many different age groups. I mean, I've watched kids from ages like baby, newborn, only 3 months old, to 14-year-olds. So I do have a little bit of experience with childcare. And so it definitely goes into the way I think about having my own kids and why I'm not having my own kids. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons. It's not just one reason, but I like reading these stories on Reddit. We're gonna go back to the Regretful parent page. So let me just pull this one up, okay? So it says, "My children are the biggest mistakes of my life. I'm 32, tired. My husband is 30 and tired. We both work 9 to 5s. He commutes 3 hours a day and works in construction. There's no downtime, the constant cleaning, breaking up tantrums, long list of things to do. I hate it. We are exhausted. No matter how much we sleep, we are never rested. I hate being a mother. There's no village. Everyone talks a good game until it's time to show up. Having children was the biggest mistake of my life. I've toyed with the idea of just separating and giving him full custody just so I don't have to do this shit full time anymore. I feel like a shell of a person. I can't stand it. I honestly just want to run away and not look back." And the children are 1 and 3. She says, "I didn't always hate it so much, but when the first became a toddler, everything changed." So yeah, I understand what taking care of a toddler is like. You are constantly cleaning up messes. Like that's just a part of it. Like you don't get off of that. And even when they're 18, you're probably still cleaning their room from time to time. Like, let's be honest, like the cleaning never stops. Like toddlers will throw food, just get into things. Like it's just, it's very much like trying to keep them alive all the time. Like if you leave them unsupervised for 2 minutes, they could possibly put their finger in an electrical socket or, bite a cord. Who knows? Like there's so many things that could happen. And like, it's just like you are on the clock no matter what is going on. If you're sick, you're on the clock. If you feel good, you're on the clock. If you want a night out, sorry, you're on the clock. So yeah, and when she says that there's no village, people will talk about like taking care of your baby or helping out. Maybe friends will talk about it like, yeah, no big deal, I'll help you when the baby comes out, or family members. And then when the baby is there, when the toddlers are there, there's actually no help. Nobody steps up to the plate. Nobody actually wants to help and raise your children. So it's like it falls back to the bio parents to raise the children. And sometimes, sometimes people have a village and most of the time they don't. That's just real. Most of the time they don't have a village. So let's go to the next one. So this one says, only 3 weeks. I feel like the worst person ever. I have the best relationship I have ever had. And I feel like since choosing to keep this baby, I completely regret it because I don't like his smell, his natural smell. That's interesting. I get filled with dread when I see the face before he cries or is actively using the bathroom. I dread when he wakes. He has been in the NICU since 122 when he was born and was very wanted by both of us. But I am struggling to bond with this tiny, noisy, needy alien. Sorry to word it like that. I am seeing a therapist the 20th for PPD, among other things, but I am at a loss right now. This is the last and first night we will be in the OBDE room with the nurses nearby. I miss my pre-baby life. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. We took him home for one night and his temp dropped thanks to the stupid pediatrician at his appointment, leaving him undressed for 20 minutes. And now he is back to the NICU. And like I said, spending the first and last night with us with nurses nearby. I feel like I would be so relieved to tell someone, but at the same time, I am terrified at what someone would think of me. Please tell me I'm not the only one who feels like this. Now, let's just be honest about postpartum depression. That is so real. Like, people do not fully grasp that postpartum depression can actually last your whole life. Like, people do not understand that. Like, when you have a baby, the baby's cells go into your body. Like, there is truly biological things that happen when you're pregnant that chemically change you forever. And so a lot of people with postpartum depression feel the loss of identity, not being able to bond with the baby. And especially when it comes to people that might have kids with disabilities, or like she said, her baby was in the NICU. And so that makes it harder to bond when you first have a child if they're immediately put into that plastic box and you're not allowed to hold or bond with the baby. That can definitely lead to postpartum depression. I had a friend who had really bad postpartum depression, and she had just heard her doctor say that like the baby might have a disability, and it just sent her into a spiral. She ended up in the hospital, was in a really bad way, and she just said she felt like she couldn't bond with the baby. She felt like, she felt so disconnected from the baby, and she was older, in her 40s. And so this was a huge life change for her, having this kid, this baby, when she already had a 14-year-old older son. And so like with this story here, like the baby was in the NICU, very similar. And it's interesting that she says she doesn't even like the baby's natural smell, because I think that like as a mom, that's probably one of the things that most moms would say they like is their baby's natural smell. Like, I don't know, but I like smelling babies. Like, maybe that's just me. Like, I like smelling babies. I think they smell really fresh, really clean, like really sweet, like just like a sweet smell. I love smelling my husband too. Like, just the natural smell of your kids or your partner or people you love is usually like a thing that produces oxytocin. Like, I know when I smell my dogs, I get that oxytocin. Like, I love smelling my dogs. Like, they smell so good. But yeah, like, it's true that, postpartum depression affects a lot of people. And that's why it's like, for me, I have to think of worst case scenario for myself in order to feel like in order to feel like, okay, I am prepared, And worst case scenario would be my child having a disability or being in the NICU or me having postpartum depression. And so for me, it's just, if I can't go through that, and I know I can't go through that, and I have friends who are going through it right now, it just makes me realize that maybe I'm not cut out to be a mother. Because you have to be ready to mother that baby in whatever circumstances. And I just don't feel like I'm really at that point right now, or that I'll ever be at that point. Yeah, so I completely understand this take on exactly what she's saying. Okay, this one is kind of funny. So let me see if I can do my lip liner while I do this. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little lip liner on. I cannot read the screen while I do this. I love like nudes, and this is like a plum color. I love plum colored lips. Like, I love it. All right, so this one is, my best friend was married 3 weeks ago, and I was extremely preoccupied with helping her for the final 6 days. The wedding was in her parents' house, so we were decorating and taking care of all the things. My youngest was with me, and I wasn't paying much attention because I was preoccupied. Come to find out yesterday when my credit card statement came that he spent almost $18,000 on a stupid game. He was deleting purchase receipt emails and spending money I don't have on a card I have set aside for emergencies. He grabbed it from my wallet and was just purchasing away. I don't even understand why he would do this. It is going to cost me another $1,500 in interest by the time I can pay this off. I was so upset I couldn't even speak to him. I have such feelings of hate for him right now. I'm a teacher and I want to just never come home. My older kids have tried to discipline him for me because I am just shut down about it and scared of what I will do to him. I don't need advice, just wanted to scream out into the world that I hate my life. I wish I had only had my oldest. The others have ruined me mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. I'd rather have had a house full of dogs than these selfish assholes. Oh my God. Okay, but like, house full of dogs? Anyone? Anyone? Yes. Like, yes, house full of dogs. Yes, please. Like, I would love a house full of dogs versus a house full of children. Like, let's be honest, okay? So this little guy spent $18,000 on a game. Like, and kids, like, let me just tell you, kids do not understand money. They will never understand the concept of money until they have their own job and they're out of the house and they're paying bills. That's the only time they're gonna have any concept of money. They're just not gonna have a concept of money before that. And so whatever you give to kids has to be unconditional, because they might tell you to their face, yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that gift. Like, they will be straight up honest to your face, like, oh, that gift sucked. Like, trust me, I know. Like, and so it's like, you kind of have to decide, like, what's worth it. And obviously, like, if you parent your kids to be raised more selfless than selfish, then like, great for you on parenting. Like, I think that's a parenting thing, like raising your kids to be selfless instead of selfish. But also, it's a kid thing. They just don't know. Like, money is like magic in the sky to them. Like, they don't know how hard adults work for their money, for their things, for their they don't have a concept of how hard we work to provide. So it's like, they just might spend your money not thinking about that. Obviously, $18,000 is crazy. Even $1,500 would be crazy. But $18,000 on a card, girl, like, he would be grounded for the rest of his life. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I get it. Like, I truly understand, like, the kids, they don't have a concept of money. Like, they just don't. And, you know, like, as much as we would wish that they could appreciate the gifts we get them, they could appreciate, you know, the things we do for them, more times than not, they just don't have a fully developed brain to be able to do that. So that's where we're at here. You know, we're working with, you know, not a fully developed brain, you know, and no actual responsibility for them to have a house, have a room. You know, they're not paying rent. So neither are my dogs either. But, you know, if I have to have someone who lives rent-free in my house, I'm going to choose a dog over a kid. So let's go to the next one. So let's get into this next one. So I'm pregnant with a toddler and questioning my life choices. I just wanted to preface this by saying I don't actually regret being a parent. I love my daughter, but it has gotten so hard lately. I'm almost 8 months pregnant with our second child, and our first is only 17 months. I've gotten to the point in pregnancy where I'm beyond exhausted. I can't roll over in bed, put on my pants, bend down, do anything without being in excruciating pain. Meanwhile, our firstborn is a toddler now, and she has changed so suddenly it hit us like a train. She freaks out about everything, screams and cries and throws her head back, sometimes hitting me in the face. She has been throwing everything she can on the ground, and since it hurts me so bad to bend down right now, I'm losing my mind over little stuff like that. I know I chose this. I know I got pregnant again, fully understanding that this would be hard, but I thought I would have handled it better. My first pregnancy was so easy, but I have been sick and miserable throughout this entire one. I feel so alone. I feel like I can't complain because I chose this life, but it's so hard. Does anyone else feel this way? Like you're not allowed to be stressed or upset when you decided to have kids? I just love to feel less alone. Yeah, so as much as we like to think that we have chosen things or that everyone knows what they're getting into, at the end of the day, if you've never watched kids, if you've never had experience with kids, you probably don't know what you're getting into. Like, you probably really don't. Like, I think a lot of parents that do well parenting, it's probably their like very first experience having a child. So it's all magical, it's all new, it's all exciting. When you're someone like me who is an ex-nanny who had like tons of childcare like experiences, you know, I know the reality of it. And the reality of it is you sitting on a floor with a bunch of toys spread all over the living room, and you feel like crying, but the toddler is crying. And so you have to swallow your emotions and help the toddler pick up their toys or get busy doing something else. And then you're pregnant on top of this. Like, oh my God. Like, and where's the husband in all of this? Like, this is why I always say if I wanted to be a parent, I would rather be a dad than a mom, because it's so obvious that the moms get sat with all the responsibility of child rearing, and the husbands just go off to work or whatever they do. And, you know, they're technically not seen by society or sometimes by their own families as responsible for the cleanliness of the house, the cleanliness of the kids, the way the kids are being raised. And so, it's one of those things where it is extremely difficult to be a mom, no matter what circumstances, you know, but especially, when you're pregnant with a toddler, that sounds like hell. It sounds like hell. I'm so sorry. Like, I am so sorry. Like, it does not sound fun to me. Like, this is exactly why I'm not having kids. Because not only do you sacrifice your body for 9 months, like you're sacrificing your body for 9 months. And then on top of that, you have to take care of the kid you already had. Like if you want multiple, like if I had a kid, it would just be one, but I don't even want that. I'm sorry, I don't. Like, I don't want to go through pregnancy. I don't want to go through childbirth. I don't want to go through the baby phase and then the toddler phase. And then as they go up, the responsibilities just get more and more. Now you have to drop them off to soccer. Now you have to drop them off to baseball. Now you have to drop them off to all their sports and activities and birthday parties. And, you know, it's just always something to be done. There's never a rest. There's never a break. It's always something to be done. So yeah, it's a big no for me. Okay, so this is bipolar single mom, and this touches on something that is very relatable to me. So I want to read this one. I'm 26 and my son is 4. I really do love him, but I have bipolar 1 disorder and anxiety and full custody due to no interest from his unstable dad. This is way too much. I constantly worry that my son will inherit one or more of our combined mental illness. My son's dad and I met in a psych hospital. Interesting. I'm not sure if I can't keep doing this without having a breakdown. He's only 4 and I feel like my life is completely taken over and I'm so exhausted and feel myself entering a depressive phase. I'm in therapy and seeing my psychiatrist regularly, but his needs are never ending. He is showing signs of possible anxiety already. I cry and panic a lot, thinking I ruined him and imagining him struggling through life, and I can't forgive myself for all of my decisions that led us here. Honestly, this is exactly the reason why me personally, I am not having kids, because I have bipolar too, as well as a host of other psychiatric conditions. And I have almost lost my life to these conditions multiple times. I would never put an innocent child through what I've been through in life as an adult. Like, I would never. I care too much about that innocent child to ever genetically pass down any disorder that has almost taken my life, that has put me in the hospital 3 times. Like, this is just real shit. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be honest with yourself, especially if you have any type of mental illness, and be like, is this fantasy thinking for me to have a kid and for my mental illness to just go along with it? Or, you know, is this something I need to consider my child inheriting what I have, genetically inheriting it, and possibly not surviving as well as I did, you know? Or just the fact of having bipolar and trying to be a mom at the same time is kind of like, you know, rubbing, like it's friction, you know? Like it's going 2 opposite directions. Like, mental health doesn't care if you have a little child to worry about. Like, they will just hit you with an episode no matter what. And then you're in the episode and your kid needs you, but you don't have anyone that's there for you during your episode. Like, it just gets so crazy. And especially with this situation, like, the dad's not even in the picture. Like, and that's what you have to realize is, like, if you're gonna have a child, you kind of have to assume that maybe the dad might not be in the picture at some point, you know, or partial custody or something of that sort. You never know how the relationship is going to shake out. And we all think that, and nobody goes into marriage thinking about divorce, and nobody goes into having kids thinking about a split custody situation. But that's exactly what you have to think about, and in order to prepare mentally, just in case those things happen. For me personally, the mental preparation is exactly what keeps me from having a child, is knowing that I'm fully not prepared financially, physically, emotionally. I'm not prepared to take care of another needy human being. It's funny, the other lady called it a little alien. And so I just thought that was funny. But no, it's like, it's true. Like, this little body that just came from you that needs you 24/7. It's a caretaker role. I've said that in so many other videos. It is a caretaker role. You are constantly caretaking, constantly cleaning up messes, making food every day, 3 times a day. Like, this is the reality of it. All right, so this is the last one. I resent my husband for talking me out of an abortion. I am 15 months postpartum now. I am fucking pissed that my husband didn't want to get an abortion when I was pregnant. He was the breadwinner and became unemployed, so I wanted to abort, but he begged me not to. Well, he was unemployed for an entire fucking year, and we had to move away from our families just so he could find work. Before I got pregnant, I was fit and healthy. I weighed 120 pounds and exercised daily. Pregnancy made me feel so sick that I couldn't exercise. The only thing that helped my nausea was eating. That ruined me, and I gained 80 pounds from pregnancy. I made the mistake of breastfeeding, and I swear that has taken a decade or more off of my lifespan. Not only have I not lost any pregnancy weight, I now weigh 20 pounds more. So now I'm literally 100 pounds more than I was before getting pregnant. I am now class 2 obese. Breastfeeding made me constantly hungry. I think my hormones were severely unregulated and made me not feel satiated ever. I want my body back. I want to be healthy. I want no pain when I try to exercise. I'm sick of hearing, oh, you'll just lose the weight, when I could have just not gained it at all in the first place. I hate being a stay-at-home mom, but daycare is too expensive and there's no way I would even make enough money to cover the cost of it. Now I'm going to die early due to the consequences of pregnancy and breastfeeding. It's so hard to lose weight. I'm constantly looking for food. I'm constantly thinking about food. It is exhausting and legit hate it. Even if I somehow manage to lose 100 pounds, I'll still have to deal with the extra skin and stretch marks on my body, and my pelvic floor is fucking trash now. I go to pelvic floor physical therapy, but I hate it and can't keep up with the exercises. Seriously, the most uncomfortable thing ever. That is struggle. Like, let me just tell you this, ladies, like, if you're ever thinking about an abortion, like, really think hard about it. Think hard about it and don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad for wanting an abortion. Like, if I ever got pregnant, I definitely would go the abortion route because, honey, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Like, it's not going to happen. No one can convince me into it. It's just not going to happen. And sometimes when you're on the fence and you haven't really thought of everything all the way through and you're on the fence, and I know abortion is also a traumatic experience. So I want to put that out there, that it's not just like you can take a pill and everything goes away. Like, it can be a traumatic experience for people. I do understand that. But at the same time, like, if you're on the fence, I think it's so much better to regret not having kids than to regret having kids. Because once that toothpaste is out of the bottle, honey, you cannot put it back in. It's not going back in. That toothpaste is out of the bottle. So it's like, when you really think about how hard it is to parent and how hard it is to be a single mom, even if you're married, you could still end up a single mom because you're doing all the work, you know? And what she said about the way that it destroyed her body, like, first of all, I'm not body shaming. Like, 100 extra pounds, you can lose it. You could not lose it and still be healthy. Who knows? You know, I'm not the determining factor of health. I would say probably get on a medication, like a weight loss medication that I've been on. Like, that could really help you. Getting on a weight loss medication could help, like, start losing that weight without having to find the time to work out, and you know, and just changing your diet and eating a little bit healthier, you know. But the food noise that she's talking about, like always thinking about food, those medications help a lot with that, okay? So, yeah, so this is just like one of those things where I'm like, overall, you have to think of the consequences of, and she even said that breastfeeding, like, most people say breastfeeding will help you lose weight. It did not help her lose weight. Like, there's these myths that go around that people just believe about pregnancy, childbirth, weight loss, whatever. And some of those things are different for every person. They're different for every body. And they're not always accurate. And so, you know, I just feel bad for this girl. Like, this woman, I guess, like, you know, just dealing with the regret of, you know, not having an abortion. Like, I have a friend who is exactly like this. Like, she almost went through with it and then didn't. So it's like, I completely understand that fear of not wanting to go through with it and the fear of going through with it. Or the fear of wanting to go through with it and the fear of not wanting to go through with the abortion part. Like, I completely understand that. I never want to be put in that situation. That's why I take my birth control daily. Baby, my birth control is my best friend, okay? Because this is too much. Like, this is too much, okay? So, yeah, never let someone talk you out of an abortion. Like, unless they're going to be the primary caregiver, unless they're going to let their body be torn apart and changed forever, like, don't let a man talk you out of getting an abortion, sis. Like, don't let it happen to you. And that is the last one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I just wanted to do something different with the makeup and the you know, the child-free stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay safe out there. Don't have kids unless you really know what you're getting into, unless you really know that's the path you want in life. And I will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this video.